When someone asked a man without friends why he was in that situation, he paused for a moment and replied, "True friendship is like a rare gem, precious, but hard to find." After being disappointed several times, you may begin to feel that there are no real gems in the world, only imitations. Another person added, "Friends are treasures in our lives, but unfortunately, true friends who can stand the test of time are few and far between." Many people experience loneliness in their relationships. Psychologist Abraham Maslow, in his hierarchy of needs, mentioned that belonging and love are fundamental human needs, yet they are also the most easily hurt. When people lose trust in others, this sense of loneliness can become even more intense. Someone once said, "Being alone isn't scary, but feeling lonely in a crowd is." This statement reveals a harsh reality. Even in today's world, where social networks are more developed than ever, many still struggle with loneliness, especially those who have experienced betrayal and disappointment in their friendships. This skepticism and caution towards friendship are common in real life. Friendship can bring both joy and support, but also pain and disappointment. To better understand this complex emotion, let's explore it through an adapted parable. Welcome to Legacy of Leaders, where we dive into timeless philosophies to help you build a stronger, more balanced, and fulfilling life. Before we dive in, be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on our daily dose of educational and inspirational videos. Let's get started. In a village far away, there was an ancient forest where a majestic oak tree grew. This oak tree formed a deep bond with a young boy. Whenever the boy felt lonely, he would come to the oak tree, leaning against its sturdy trunk, gazing at the sky and enjoying the cool shade of its broad branches. The oak tree stretched out its strong limbs as if creating a safe space for the boy. When the boy was little, he loved to play beneath the oak tree. Sometimes he would climb up to the highest branches, looking out over the whole forest, feeling the breeze on his face. He made crowns from the oak's leaves, imagining himself as the king of the forest. The oak tree felt immense joy in the boy's company, providing him with shade and peace. Everything seemed perfect. However, time did not stand still. The boy grew older, made more friends, and took on new responsibilities. He began to chase new dreams and didn't visit the oak tree as often as before. But whenever he faced challenges or felt troubled, he would still return to the forest and find the oak tree that had grown with him. One day the boy, now a young man, came to the oak tree with a troubled expression. "Oak tree, my friend," he said, "I need a house, but I don't have enough materials." The oak tree listened quietly, sensing his worries, and gently said, "My branches are strong enough. Take them and build your house. I hope it will bring you happiness." The young man followed the oak's advice, cutting off some of its branches to build his home. Though the oak tree lost many of its branches, it did not complain. It stood tall in the forest, waiting for its friend to return. Years passed, and the oak tree watched as the young man became busier, sometimes glancing at the path he used to walk, hoping to see his familiar face again. After a long time, the now married man returned, but once again, his face was full of sorrow. "Oak tree, I'm troubled again," he said. "I want to set sail for distant lands, but I don't have a boat." The oak tree's trunk was no longer as lush as it once was, but it replied without hesitation, "Cut down my trunk and build a boat. Though I can no longer give you shade, I hope this boat will help you find the happiness you seek." The man followed the oak's advice, using its trunk to build a sturdy boat and set sail for new adventures. This time, he traveled far away and did not return. The oak tree, reduced to a stump, stood alone in the rain and wind. Though it had lost its branches and strong trunk, it never regretted its sacrifices. It still held fond memories of its friend. Time passed, and the stump sat quietly as the seasons changed. Rain and sunlight nourished the ground around it. One day, from the heart of the stump, a small green shoot sprouted. The shoot grew rapidly, becoming a new young oak tree. This new oak tree, though it no longer had the memories of its past, still looked at the world with a fresh perspective. It had learned to enjoy the sunlight of each new morning and to appreciate the nourishment of every drop of rain. Though its past was filled with sacrifice and giving, now it understood how to truly cherish each moment in the present. One day, a little boy came to the newly grown oak tree and looked up, saying, "Hello, can we be friends?" The oak tree paused for a moment, its leaves trembling slightly, and then gently replied, "I'm willing to try again, but this time I will cherish my own growth more." The Stoics remind us that true satisfaction comes from within, not from external friendships or other relationships. Just as the oak tree found new life after losing everything, its strength came from its inner growth and self-renewal. This story teaches us that friendship, like a tree, requires constant nurturing and giving. But giving too much without thought or limits can lead to losing oneself and, eventually, losing trust. Like the oak tree, after its rebirth, it learned to give while also cherishing itself. Robin Williams once said, "I used to think the worst thing in life was to end up alone. It's not. The worst thing in life is ending up with people who make you feel alone." This reflects a deep truth. Sometimes, feeling lonely among people is far worse than being alone. Another person shared, "I've been hurt too many times by so-called friends. It's best to be alone. The anxiety and betrayal I've faced have left me too exhausted to maintain friendships anymore." This sentiment reflects the disappointment and weariness many feel in relationships. When giving is taken for granted or abused, trust can break down, leaving one to retreat and no longer seek friendships. Stoic philosophy teaches us that loneliness is not a negative state. On the contrary, it offers us an opportunity for self-reflection and growth, allowing us to gain clarity on what truly matters. So, when you meet someone who has no friends, don't rush to judge them. Maybe they are not bad people. Perhaps they've been like the oak tree for someone else, giving too much until they lost faith in friendship. Isn't that a sad thought? Not having friends may simply mean they've lost the trust needed to let others in. If you found this story meaningful, please subscribe to our channel, where we explore more about Stoic philosophy, personal growth, and how to live a more fulfilling life. Don't forget to like, share, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next video. Let's stay strong, stay Stoic.